For sure. So something maybe not a lot of people know is that actually OpenAI was created at Y Combinator back in 2015. It was originally known as YC Research. We believed that AI was a thing that was happening, but at the time it was all kind of locked up inside of Google. And so we wanted it to be more open to the world, and in particular open to our startups. You know, if our startups are not able to build on top of AI, we're going to be in trouble. So as part of that process, you and I interviewed Ilya for the role of OpenAI co-founder.
Yeah, Sam emailed us, and he's like, "Oh, great candidate. This is looking really good. I want you guys to meet him, and I want you to interview him and give me the thumbs up before we move forward with this." And so we did. What was that like? What do you remember from that interview?
You know, I actually just remember asking him, like, why did neural nets start working? Because I was into neural nets back in the 90s.
Yeah.
I always thought, to me, neural net always seemed like obviously the right way to do AI, but I'm not smart enough to actually make it work. But so I was just asking him, what has changed since, because in the 90s, it was kind of a dead end. It was a little bit popular, but no one ever really managed to make it do anything very interesting. And then, what happened in 2012 with AlexNet was all of a sudden people started getting good results. And so, he just kind of explained. Some of it was actually really basic. One of the things that was surprising, and I don't know if this is true, but it's what he told us, was that actually we were just initializing the neural net.
I remember that. He said, "Oh yeah, the weights. We all believed that you started with these types of initial weights,
it used to
and
be,
that was wrong."
I think you would use a random number between like 0 and 0.2 or something, and actually the correct thing was a random number between -1 and 1.
I totally remember that, and I remember us being like, "Why?" He's like, "Oh."
Yeah. Well, so a lot of times it turns out, in these research things, someone just does something random, and then everyone else just copies it without questioning it.
Yeah, what I remember from that is how much he predicted that ended up being totally true. I think about this all the time from YC interviews, where sometimes you meet founders and they say a lot of stuff and it's very bold and like none of it happens. Right? It's like Web3 didn't happen, man. Like I heard a lot of bold visions didn't happen, but man, every once in a while I get chills thinking about when someone told me something that became exactly the reality we live in. And that's how I feel about that interview, is he made a lot of really wild statements about what was going to happen with AI.
Do you remember?
Yeah. I don't know if I could quote something specific, but it was basically that this was the most important problem in the world and that we would have superhuman level intelligence to solve all sorts of problems, and that like, it's going to change the way we live. And this was in 2015. Again, this was like, it wasn't like this was a common thing you would read on x.com.
For sure.
This was a very strange, extreme vision of the future.
Yeah. Not a lot of people believed in AI back then. Even, a few years ago, a lot of people were still in denial that this was going to happen.
Yeah. So I just remember him saying things that I found wild, and he meant them so sincerely. Like he was just telling us a bunch of facts about what was going to happen. And again, with hindsight, he was dead on.